going on with everybody else at FlyCo Mini IndieCon. Again, somebody who has been here. I think you've been at every single one, right?
Absolutely.
Robert Stewart with us from Afterburner Comics. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, I was saying good morning, kind of, because I kind of need a little bit more coffee, but you didn't need to know that. TMI. So, talk about Afterburner Comics for those who may be hearing about it for the first time.
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Robert Stewart. I am the writer, the artist, and the publisher of Afterburner Comics. And Afterburner Comics focuses on my book, Afterburner, Tales of the Cool and the Wicked. And Afterburner, Tales of the Cool and the Wicked is kind of my vision of science fiction, and also one of my favorite things that I always enjoyed growing up, film noir. So I took the science fiction genre, created storylines around it, and for the visuals, I tried to incorporate some of the things that I learned watching film noir movies. And basically the storyline is about a team of troubleshooters that go out and handle jobs that usually folks like, say, the police or the military can handle, or more likely don't want to handle. They usually kind of hire the Afterburner team to handle those jobs.
Right.
And that's the basic rundown of the storyline.
Give me one mission that they've had to handle without spoiling anything.
Sure.
So, but tease one of the stories that they go and handle.
One mission that they kind of set out to handle is that there is a Godzilla type monster has risen out of the sea down in off the coast of the South Pacific, and so because of political reasons, the government down there can't handle it, and the United States government wants to handle it, but they're at odds with the government down there, so they don't want to send troops down.
Yeah, we'll just say for reasons.
Right.
Can't go.
Right, so they don't want to send the troops down, so they send the Afterburner team down. And of course, it's like the Mission Impossible thing. If your team gets caught or fails, then
disavow all knowledge of you.
Right, exactly.
Well, wait. Then does that mean that one of them has to be hanging from a string or something? Yeah. Because well, I mean, it doesn't have to be exact like Mission Impossible, but again.
Yeah.
We talked to David down here about his version of sci-fi. Everybody seems to have a different version of sci-fi.
Exactly.
Not to you. What, I mean, and it's kind of a loaded question, if you will. But what makes good sci-fi to you?
To me, what makes good sci-fi, number one, is a story. The monster or the science fiction around it, that's the CO film term, that's the MacGuffin. Mm-hmm. That's just what draws you into the story, the little shiny bits. But the actual sci-fi itself has to have engaging stories and engaging characters. You have to be able to relate to the characters in the story. And that's something that I think that when I look at modern day cinema, I would like to see more of. I would like to see more relatable characters. And if I may kind of segue off of that, one thing you'll notice with Afterburner, I always say science fiction noir. And when you think of noir means dark or black.
Right.
And from my point of view, I'm also looking at science fiction from the vision of an African American man growing up, and and looking at science fiction. Mm-hmm. So I'm also throwing in all of those types of elements also. So there's just this broad spectrum that I'm trying to bring to the comic visual form.
I mean, I had a discussion with somebody on the show not too long ago, and I've said it on the other show we have, The Week in Geek, where sci-fi today is really becoming science fact real quick. We have this Space Force that we're going to have then. Right. I think the Russians or somebody has this exoskeleton where the soldiers aren't just soldiers. They're going to look like robots, like RoboCop, basically.
Right.
So, I mean, and that is what used to be sci-fi, when Buck Rogers and that anything that's in space. It doesn't necessarily have to be in outer space to be classified as science fiction. It's exactly what you said, which again why I've always loved Star Trek. I mean, I love Star Wars and Star Trek, but Star Trek for that reason, because it's talking about to and about us, and it's the characters, it's the stories that make it good sci-fi should make us look in the mirror and say, how would I handle that if I was in that situation? So, to get those stories, where can they go to get the books?
To get the books, you can come here to Flying Colors Comics, and also you can check me out on the web at www.afterburnercomics.com.